I shot the sheriff, but I did not shoot the deputy. What's going on, gang? I'm Viper.
I'm Rumpo.
And we are Fireteam Hooligan from BattleChatterOnline.com. Welcome to another edition of the Prima Games Tactical Tune-Up. This time, we ask you all to put your thinking helmets on and pay close attention as we begin a series of weapon breakdowns where we're going to focus on certain weapons that we've determined are simply overlooked on the battlefields of Battlefield 3. Professor Rumpo, please tell the fine folks what weapon system we're going to be taking a look at this week.
We are going to be focusing on the AS VAL. The AS VAL is a personal defense weapon, or PDW, which is available to all 4 kits in Battlefield 3. The reason we wanted to talk about this particular weapon today is because we feel that it is largely underutilized in its class. So let's go ahead and look at some facts about the AS VAL. At 900 rounds per minute, it is second only to the MP7 in that category and tied with the M5K, the P90, and the PP19. The maximum damage of this weapon is 20, with it dropping off at 6 meters. Essentially what that means is that within 6 meters, this weapon takes 5 rounds to drop your enemy if you are hitting him in the torso. If you're hitting him in the head, it's going to take 3 rounds. Where this weapon really shines is minimum damage, which the AS VAL clocks in at 18.4. This is by far the top of the PDW class by almost 5 points over the next best weapon. Combine this with a maximum distance of 666 meters, which is also tops in its class. No matter how far you are from your enemy, this weapon can drop him in 6 shots to the torso. The AS VAL comes standard with a 20-round magazine with 1 round in the chamber. This is fairly standard for the PDW class. The thing to remember here is that at 200 kills you will unlock the final attachment for this weapon, the extended magazine, which increases the total ammo capacity to 31, 5 rounds more than the powerful UMP45. Extended magazines are fairly common among PDW class, with the P90, UMP45, and PP19 being the exceptions. We're going to go ahead and give the AS VAL another pat on the back with its reload times. As long as you have at least 1 round remaining, you can reload this weapon in 1.7 seconds. Even if you expend every round you have trying to take down that pesky level 100 colonel hopping around the battlefield, the AS VAL comes in 3rd place of the PDW class, reloading with no rounds remaining in 2.85 seconds. One place of concern with this weapon is its vertical recoil, which is the highest of the PDW class at 0.4. This means that unless your enemy is close to you, it's imperative that you use burst fire to keep this under control. For people such as myself that tend to aim low, this actually works to compensate for my bad habits. In terms of left and right recoil, the AS VAL pulls 0.2 to the left and 0.3 to the right. The best way to explain this is to simply say it pulls very slightly to the right, but does very well against other PDWs in terms of left and right recoil. As far as attachments go for this weapon, I personally use the Cobra red dot sight and the extended magazine. The Cobra has the same aim down sight speed as the Reflex, taking just over 1/4 of a second to raise the weapon and exactly 1/3 of a second to lower it. Both scopes give you 144% zoom, which is preferable over the holographic and PKAS scopes, which zoom in to 183%. The reason I go with the smaller zoom is because this weapon is ideally used at ranges that don't require high magnification. Choosing the Cobra over the Reflex is very simple. The Cobra actually takes up less space on your screen, allowing you to maintain optimal battlefield awareness while aiming down sight. It should also be noted that the AS VAL comes standard with a suppressor which cannot be removed. I suspect this is one of the main reasons this weapon is frequently overlooked. What people fail to realize is that the AS VAL, although suppressed, is not penalized for that. If anything, it actually deals the most consistent damage and the highest at long range over all other PDWs. Taking all of the mentioned factors into consideration, the AS VAL is ideally used on team deathmatch or close quarters, any place where you are typically engaging the enemy at short to medium range. Because this weapon can be equipped in any of the 4 kits, it is recommended for those who are not typically snipers to rank up their recon kit. And yes, Viper, we're talking about you.
Well, there you have it, folks. If you've never given the AS VAL a try, like me, or you've just forgotten it at the bottom of your weapons cache, do yourself a favor and dust it off. You'll be glad you did. While you're at it, don't forget to pick up the official Prima Games Battlefield 3 strategy guide or visit primagames.com, where you can purchase the official Prima Games Battlefield 3 e-guide to instantly have tons of tactical tidbits right there at your fingertips. Prima Games! Strategy where, when, and how you want it. For Prima Games and everybody at BattleChatterOnline.com, I'm Viper.
I'm Rumpo.
We are Fireteam Hooligan of BattleChatterOnline.com. As usual, doom on you, Mr. Tango.